It was just about 10.5 months ago when India and of course Maximum City Mumbai was gearing up for the second wave. It was post the middle of February. We're now entering 2022 with the prospects of a third wave upon us. Mumbai has clocked over 8,000 new daily positive cases just yesterday, and the rate at which the new cases are coming up shows that we're going to have some pretty big numbers soon. Nevertheless, the level of panic is very, very different, and that is due to a number of reasons. To speak on some of these reasons, what we can expect in Mumbai over the next few days, and whether we're going to have restrictions make a comeback, I'm joined now by BMC Commissioner Mr. Iqbal Singh Chahal, speaking exclusively to us. Mr. Chahal, thank you so much for taking out the time and speaking with ET now. We're starting the new year's on a tough note, aren't we?
First of all, Tamanna, thank you very much for providing me opportunity today to present our Mumbai's COVID case. You know, today is day 14, the 3rd of Jan 2022, since our positivity started climbing up. It was on 21st of December that for the first time after many, many months, our positivity went beyond 1%. And the climb has been consistent for the last 13 days, today being the 14th day. And yesterday, our positivity came down to almost 17%. So in this, the third wave of COVID, the Omicron variant, and the infectivity is very high. It is very highly infectious. And as you see, yesterday, Mumbai got 8,000 plus cases. But I would like to say that although we have to be very cautious, we have to be very careful, we cannot be complacent, and the way numbers are growing, we have to be on the guard. But at the same time, there is no reason for panic, which I'd like to briefly explain to eminent viewers. Number one, though we got 29,000 cases, active cases in the last 13 days, out of which 8,000 came yesterday, but still we have almost 90% beds vacant and unoccupied in the hospitals. The percentage of asymptomatic cases is almost 91%. And for the remaining 9 to 10% cases which are coming symptomatic, their also symptom is quite mild. Only 50% of this 10% seek hospital beds. For example, yesterday, if we had 8,003 cases, the total hospitalization was 510, which works out to be almost 5% of the cases which came. And remaining people, either they don't have symptoms or the symptoms are very mild and they tend to get well in 3 to 5 days' time. But having said that, we have to be very, very careful. Mumbai is very lucky that we have 108% of first dose of vaccination, including the migrant floating population, which is always there in Mumbai. That's why I reached the figure of 108%. We have now almost 88% second dose already done. And so one of the reasons why our symptoms are mild and less serious is because of very high level of vaccination in Mumbai. But as our health department tells me that, and experts tell me that those areas where vaccination is low, it can be a problem.
So, like you mentioned, sir, out of the 8,000 odd cases yesterday, 500 have been hospitalized. I want to understand this in perspective, because as we see the top line number of cases, it creates a sense of panic. You feel you're back in Delta second wave. But if I were to compare the last time we had 8,000 cases per day, what were the hospitalization rates then? Because isn't that the important figure right now, the hospitalization rates and the mortality rate?
Yeah, you asked a very important question. You know, Mumbai had the second wave of COVID pandemic from 10th of February to 31st of May, 100 days. And on an average, we would get about 78% asymptomatic and 22% symptomatic cases. But the symptomatic were quite serious, and almost all of them were going to hospital. In fact, many asymptomatic would develop symptoms after 2 or 3 days or 4 days, and then they will also add up. So then this 22% hospital admissions will further grow. And second, very important issue which we saw in the second wave was the patients would directly go to oxygenated beds, and many of them will directly go to ICUs the moment their test reports were declared, because they were losing their health fast in few hours' time. But the silver lining in the present scenario is that even though yesterday 500 plus people, I think 504 went to hospital yesterday, none went to ICU, and only 59 of these asked for oxygenated beds. And that too, this 59 people are those are people who are 80, 85 plus in age group, and they're highly comorbid, and they went more as abundant precaution to these oxygenated beds. So on one side, the symptomatic cases have been cut down from 22% to almost 10% now. And secondly, among the 10% figure also, half of the figures are very mild symptoms where people are not seeking hospital beds and they don't require hospitalization. Whereas in the second wave, our ICUs, our oxygenated beds were all filled up, because once somebody goes to an ICU, the turnaround time sometimes can be 20 days, 25 days, 30 days, the beds don't get vacated. And the stress in the second wave came primarily on oxygenated beds and ICU beds, not on overall hospital beds, because in the worst of time, on 14th of April 2021, when we had 93,000 active cases in Mumbai, and we had 11,100 cases coming in a single day, our ICUs got full, our oxygenated beds virtually were full, but we still had 3,000 non-oxygenated beds available with us. But this time, that category of oxygenated beds and ICU beds, I think we are in a better position.
So considering that Omicron spreads so quickly, because look at the jump in number of cases. We've reached 8,000 cases from about 300 cases just in a matter of a few days, I think 14 odd days. Do you foresee, or would you think that we need restrictions? And this is the big question, sir. Are we going to come back to more restrictions than we have currently? I know right now public spaces are shut from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Are you mulling restrictions on things like restaurants, spas, salons, malls, etc., gatherings?
Like I always say that there is no need to push the panic button, or there is no need to create panic among citizens. But having said that, at the same time, I repeatedly say that we cannot be complacent, we cannot lower our guard, and we cannot take it casually that this Omicron is not very serious, is very mild, because the numbers can be mind-boggling. In fact, the experts tell me that these numbers virtually double up in 3 or 4 days' time. We are preparing ourselves for maybe 15,000 cases coming in the coming week, in after 5-7 days, and cases may further jump every day. So unless you have a certain kind of strict COVID appropriate behavior, people wearing masks, not gatherings not allowed, and people using all other precautions, these numbers can suddenly go out of control. And for that point of view, certain restrictions are required. For example, from today, we have decided to close the schools in Mumbai from class 1 to class 8 till 31st of Jan 2022. And class 9 to class 12, since we started vaccination drive today morning, and we have to vaccinate almost 4.5 lakh children between the age group of 15 and 18, class 9 to class 12, these schools will remain open, but for vaccination drives only. Otherwise, we are taking precaution that it should not spread like wildfire in the schools. Secondly, we are also started that in public places where huge gatherings happen, like beaches or say Marine Drive or Carter Road or say Gateway of India, these places we have put a curfew from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Through Section 144 by Mumbai Police, where we said the gathering will not be permitted. So these bare minimum precautions we have taken, and I'm sure this will help us a lot.
सर अब हिंदी में मैं कुछ सवाल पूछूंगी हमारे ईटी नाउ स्वदेश दर्शकों के लिए भी, और ये सवाल एक बार फिर पूछूंगी क्योंकि इसका डायरेक्ट जवाब मुझे मिला नहीं। क्या आप सिनेमा घर, रेस्टोरेंट, मॉल, सैलून, स्पा, जिम जैसे जगहों पर कुछ रिस्ट्रिक्शन लाने की सोच रहे हैं? क्या आपको लगता है ज़रूरत पड़ेगी? क्योंकि जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि 15,000 केस हो सकते हैं मुंबई में अगले हफ्ते तक।
देखिए, इसमें आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री महोदय ने इसके बारे में 30 दिसंबर को मीटिंग ली थी, और उस टाइम हमारे सभी वरिष्ठ अधिकारी और वरिष्ठ मंत्रीगण मीटिंग में हाजिर थे। मैंने भी मीटिंग अटेंड करी थी। वहाँ पर ये लॉकडाउन वगैरह या रिस्ट्रिक्शन लाने के बारे में बहुत चर्चा हुई। तो मैंने उनको यही प्रेजेंट किया था कि अभी जो पॉजिटिविटी है, पहले सेकेंड वेव में क्या था कि अगर पॉजिटिविटी 5% के ऊपर चली जाती थी तो हम इमीडिएटली बहुत कुछ बंद कर देते थे। इस पर उनको मैंने बोला है कि आप 5% पॉजिटिविटी का जो यार्ड स्टिक है, मापदंड है, उसको ना यूज करते हुए आपका मापदंड ये होना चाहिए कि हॉस्पिटल में आपकी स्टेटस क्या है, कितने बेड्स खाली हैं, हॉस्पिटल में कितने आईसीयू खाली है, कितने ऑक्सीजनेटेड बेड्स खाली है, कितने जनरल बेड्स खाली हैं। और दूसरा ये देखना चाहिए कि डेली जो पेशेंट्स आ रहे हैं उसमें से कितने लोगों को बेड्स लग रहे हैं। तो अगर हम ये फॉलो करेंगे तो हमें सही एक दिशा मिलेगी कि रिस्ट्रिक्शंस और कितनी लेके आनी या नहीं लेके आनी। तो उस दिन ये डिसाइड हुआ कि सिर्फ शाम को 5 बजे से सुबह 5 बजे तक ये लोगों की असेंबली बंद करने के अलावा और भी हमने कुछ भी रिस्ट्रिक्शन इम्पोज नहीं की। और आज क्योंकि 3 जनवरी से सब स्कूल खुलने वाले थे और बच्चे सारे अनवैक्सीनेटेड हैं जो स्कूल में जा रहे हैं, तो हमने एक और प्रिकॉशन लिया कि एक क्लास पहली से क्लास 9वीं 8वीं तक स्कूल से 31 जनवरी तक बंद कर दिए जाएं और सिर्फ ऑनलाइन पढ़ाई हो। और क्योंकि हमें 4.5 लाख बच्चों का वैक्सीनेशन करना है ऑन वॉर फुटिंग एज डायरेक्टेड बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, तो ये बच्चे अगर स्कूल नहीं आएंगे तो इनको घर घर हजारों जगह जाना, वैक्सीनेशन करना बहुत मुश्किल है। तो इनको स्कूल लाएंगे, वहाँ बसेस में से इनको भर के हम कोविड सेंटर्स लेके जाएंगे जो हमारे साथ जम्बोज हैं, वहाँ इनका वैक्सीनेशन करेंगे। अभी आज हमने जो सुबह इसका शुभारंभ किया है केंद्र सरकार के दिशा निर्देशों के अनुसार, हम हमारे जो बीएमसी के स्कूल्स हैं उसमें करीब 37,000 बच्चे हैं जो अगले 4 दिनों में हम पूरे इनको वैक्सीनेट कर देंगे। उनको वैक्सीनेशन करने के लिए हमने क्लास 9 टू क्लास 2 खुली रखी है, परंतु सिर्फ वैक्सीनेशन को करवाने के लिए। इसके अलावा हमने ये डिसाइड किया है कि 10 जनवरी के आसपास फिर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट लेवल पर चर्चा होएगी कि अभी स्टेटस क्या है और आगे और कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन की जरूरत है या नहीं है, तब डिसाइड होएगा। पर ये हमारे ऑनरेबल सीएम सर बार बार बोलते हैं कि लॉकडाउन करना या नहीं करना और रिस्ट्रिक्शन लेके आनी, रेस्टोरेंट सिनेमा हॉल बंद करना या नहीं करना, ये लोगों के हाथ में है, हमारे हाथ में नहीं है। अगर आप कोविड अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर अडॉप्ट करेंगे और केसेस एक हद से ज्यादा नहीं बढ़ेंगे तो आगे कुछ और रिस्ट्रिक्शन आएंगे नहीं।
वैक्सीनेशन की आपने बात कही और आज बहुत बड़ा दिन है क्योंकि पहली बार 15 साल के ऊपर जो बच्चे हैं उनका टीकाकरण आज शुरू हुआ है। इसमें आप थोड़ा हमारे साथ इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर कीजिए कि जो 4.5 लाख आपने कहा बच्चे हैं मुंबई में जिनको वैक्सीनेट करना है, वो किस रफ्तार पे आप कर पाएंगे? कब तक आपको लगता है कि इन बच्चों को वैक्सीन मिल पाएगा?
ऐसे है कि ये हम केंद्र सरकार के आभारी हैं। We are grateful to Government of India that they have started this campaign of vaccination of children from 3rd of January today, and Government of Maharashtra and BMC is fully geared up to ensure that we do this drive on a war footing and top priority. जिसमें कि जहाँ तक बम्बई का सवाल है, वो हमारे बम्बई में टोटल 20,80,000 बच्चे हैं जो स्कूलों में पढ़ते हैं क्लास 1 से क्लास 12 तक। ये 20,80,000 में से 4,54,000 बच्चे हैं जो 15 और 18 साल के बीच में इनकी आयु है। और ये जो 4,54,000 इसमें 37,000 बच्चे हमारे बीएमसी के स्कूलों में हैं और 4,17,000 बच्चे हमारे प्राइवेट स्कूल्स में, नॉन एडेड स्कूल्स में पढ़ते हैं। तो हमारा पहला टारगेट है कि जो हमारे 37,000 बच्चे हैं उनको अभी आज मंडे से थर्सडे 4 दिन में हम सबको वैक्सीनेशन दे देंगे। इसके अलावा आज हमारे पास जो वैक्सीनेशन की जो सप्लाई है प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स में भी, बीएमसी में कुल मिला के हमारे पास आज 21 लाख वैक्सीन उपलब्ध हैं। तो वैक्सीनेशन की कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। केंद्र सरकार ने हमें बड़ी भारी मात्रा में हमें वैक्सीन सप्लाई किए हैं। उसमें अभी हम प्लान ऑफ एक्शन बनाया है हमने स्कूल वाइज प्राइवेट स्कूल्स का, कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के इंस्ट्रक्शंस है कि स्कूल लेवल पर हम वैक्सीनेशन नहीं करेंगे कि ताकि कोई एडवर्स रिएक्शन हो जाए तो किसी बच्चे को कोई खतरा नहीं होना चाहिए, प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए। परंतु बंबई में एक हमारा एडवांटेज है कि हमारे पास 7 बड़े जंबो पहले थे और 3 और ऐड कर दिए। 10 हमारे जंबो हॉस्पिटल्स हैं जहाँ पर हजारों बेड्स हैं, जहाँ पर सैकड़ों आईसीयूज हैं। हम बसेस में, स्कूल बसेस में, चाहे स्कूल की बस हो प्राइवेट स्कूल की, चाहे हमारे बीएमसी की बसेस हैं बीएसटी की, हम बच्चों को स्कूल से ये जंबो सेंटर्स में लेके आएंगे, जो नियरेस्ट जंबो सेंटर है उनके स्कूल के, वहाँ इनको वैक्सीनेशन करेंगे और स्कूल वाइज। और हमारा प्लान है कि बाय एंड ऑफ दिस मंथ हम मेजॉरिटी वैक्सीनेशन खत्म कर देंगे।
So, I want to ask you about those who are unvaccinated. Now, previously, we've had rules that unvaccinated people have been restricted from using Mumbai local trains. Are we going to consider increasing restrictions for unvaccinated people in public areas like the state of Haryana has done, for example?
Tamanna, that issue will not arise in Mumbai because we are adding almost 1% every day. I just mentioned that we have done 108% first dose and 88% second dose. Maybe in another 12 to 15 days, Mumbai will stand fully vaccinated. Everybody will be vaccinated, so there's no question of unvaccinated in Mumbai at least.
Sir, there are people who don't want to be vaccinated, who are still have some doubts about vaccinations and who are choosing not to.
For those people, our message is very loud and clear. We cannot compel you, but we have a right to protect our citizens who are fully vaccinated from getting infected from these people. So whether they are local trains, whether the shopping malls, whether the restaurants, gyms, spas, all the employees, they shall be double vaccinated if they have to do business in Mumbai, because we cannot put our vaccinated people to risk just because of few such people who don't want to get vaccinated.
So, just one more question that I want to ask you is about what has fueled this wave. Now, I saw some data that 55% of the cases which all sequenced, which were COVID positive, were Omicron. Has this third wave been fueled completely by Omicron, or are there a significant number of Delta cases also coming back?
Tamanna, you know, the first Omicron case was detected in South Africa on the 10th of November. The swab taken on 10th of November, the report came on 11th of November. And the government of India alerted us on the 27th of November that now we have to be on the guard for Omicron because it was fast spreading, and the reports of experts was that it is very highly infectious. So we started a very unique kind of a home quarantine system in Mumbai, where there were two categories. One was category from risk countries and one non-risk countries, passengers arriving from all over the world. We had initially 42 countries who were risk countries, now there are 56, where Omicron cases were in substantial numbers, which includes entire Europe, includes South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and many such countries. Now, on the 3rd of from this 3rd of December last, we started tapping the Air Suvidha app portal, and we would access roughly 7,000 people who were landing in Mumbai in the previous 24 hours. And on online software at sharp 9 o'clock in the morning, the previous 7,000 names would appear on our dashboards in BMC ward war rooms. And these were split into various addresses, ward war rooms, depending on zip codes. And each ward war room will start then calling up these people. Out of 7,000, I must say that there were about 1,200 odd people who are from risk countries who were advised home quarantine as per Government of India's guidelines. And we would pin them down. We call them 5 times in a day on video calls to check whether they're home or not. We would send ambulances to the societies with written orders that they should not step out. If they step out, we should prosecute them and put them in institutional quarantine. If anybody comes to visit them, again the same prosecution happens. Then we put 24 wards, 10 ambulances, 240 ambulances moving 24/7 for these people to ensure they are at home by knocking their doors and checking whether they're home or not, and prosecuting them that if they're not found at home and moving them to institutional quarantine. So we pinned down these 1,200 odd people in the last 30 days, roughly about 35,000 people. So these people were very carefully guarded by us that Omicron import doesn't take place. But the remaining many countries who were supposed to be non-risk countries as per Government of India's protocol, which we strictly always follow in letter and spirit, many of these people, they were not to be home quarantined, and they would walk free from the airport with just 5% random testing, and 95% people won't be tested at the airport, and they could leave for their homes. And after going home, there was no home quarantine prescribed from them as per the government guidelines, and they could freely roam around. So many of these people who were carriers of Omicron virus, number one. Number two, people started getting down at other airports in the country, and they would then take a domestic flight to Mumbai. So we started getting a lot of cases from Dubai. Dubai is getting more than 2,000, 3,000 cases a day. And we had a large number of flights. Dubai was a non-risk country, and a lot of people sneaked into Mumbai from Dubai also. So these people who brought this Omicron virus, it has now virtually, it is on the verge of exploding, because my state task force has told me today morning that at least 80% of the cases coming now are Omicron only.
So, just as I wrap this interview, and thank you for your time, I want an outlook from you, as we're on the verge of a tough time, no doubt. If 80% of the cases which are fresh are Omicron, if we're looking at 15,000 cases by next week, we are going to have a tough time. But if we look at the South African example, where cases went up in a very large number and then came down fairly quickly, are you optimistic that we'll be over this tough phase maybe in the next 45 to 60 days?
Tamanna, you know, in Mumbai, we have a very robust system where each home quarantine person, today we have almost 26,000 home quarantine people, and they're getting 5 calls in a day from us. And our ambulances are round the clock moving, 800 of them, and checking randomly whether they're home or not. Societies have been told that if they step out, just click them and send a photograph to us on the WhatsApp, we'll prosecute them. And on the day 7, we tell these people that you do home swab collection, and please send your RT-PCR negative report to us, otherwise we won't allow you to step out. We have such a robust system. We have 30,000 beds in the hospital, out of which 90% vacant. We have another 24,000 beds waiting in our CCC2 for symptomatic positive. We are fully geared up with the 3 pediatric jumbos with 6,000 beds. We have more than 4,000 ICUs lying vacant with us. We are very well prepared. But I believe that if we keep our guard on, and if we are very vigilant, almost 14 days have passed now, another 4 weeks time, we expect a similar downward trend like what happened in South Africa, because experts tell me of my state task force that maybe next 4 to 5 days, we may have 100% Omicron cases coming up, only because Omicron immediately takes over the space of Delta variant and replaces it. And ultimately, we may have a scenario in Mumbai in a week's time where we have left with Omicron only. But when I say this, I again and again, every time I request my citizens with folded hands that please don't be complacent. Please don't you have to be very careful, and you have to show COVID appropriate behavior. Masking is very important. Mask is better than a vaccine, I always say. And this is the only way to keep these numbers under control. But I always worry that if these numbers become humongous in certain parts of the country, and things go out of control, then even mortality of 1%, 0.5% can be huge. So people shouldn't take Omicron very lightly, and we have to be absolutely careful and vigilant.
Yep. Same vigilance, but more optimism and better preparation. Thank you so much, Mr. Chahal, for joining us on this very important conversation today on ET Now.